ॐ श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Okay. Yeah, Anil. Okay, we'll chant from number 23. Nainam Chindanti. Nainam Chindanti Shastrani.
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
नैनं दहति पावकः
नैनं दहति पावकः
न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः
न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः
न शोषयति मारुतः
न शोषयति मारुतः
अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम्
अच्छेद्योऽयं दाह्योऽयम्
अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च
अक्लेद्यः शोष्य एव च
नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः
नित्यः सर्वगतः स्थाणु.
So the way to chant that is Nityaha Sarvagataha is are the two words, but you have to join the visargas with the next letter. Nitya Sarvagatasthānuhu.
Nitya Sarvagatasthānuhu.
Achaloyam Sanatanaha.
Achaloyam Sanatanaha.
Avyaktoyam Achintyoyam.
अव्यक्तोऽयम् अव्यक्तोऽयं चिन्तयम्
Avyaktoyam
अव्यक्तोऽयम्
achintyoyam
अचिन्त्योऽयम्
avikaryoyamuchyate
अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते
tasmadevam viditvainam
तस्मादेवम् अविदित्वैनं
tasmadevam viditvainam
तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं
नानुशोचितुमर्हसि
नानुशोचितुम् अर्हसि
अथ चैनं नित्यजातम्
अथ चैनं नित्यजातं
नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम्
नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि
नैवं शोचितुम् अर्हसि
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः
ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च
ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च
तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे
तस्मात् परिहारेऽर्थे
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि.
न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि.
Yeah, so this is where we were. So he's connecting, Krishna is connecting back to his first shloka of his teaching, verse number 11. Ashocyan anvashochastvam. And now he's connecting it back. Natvam shochitum arhasi. You, considering what I've said, there is really no cause for grief. Like that, he is in a way concluding his thesis, his presentation of Atma. So here we were here at verse number 27. So jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Dhruvam, certain. So if you think, earlier he said atha chainam nityajat. He said if you consider Atma to be constantly born and constantly dying, then also I don't see any reason to grieve. It's the law, it's the niyati. So why would you want to grieve about that? And now he's saying, he's adding to that, saying that which is born, the moment you say it is born, then it's only a matter of time before it will disappear, it will die. Jatasya, of that which is born, mrityuhu dhruvaha asti. Death is certain. Death is a certainty. Like that he's saying. And for that which is dead, then birth is a certainty. So if you want, you can get some relief from that. And Bhishma is never going to die, really speaking. If he has to be born again, I mean, he will be born again. He also better listen to people like me. If he does not want to be born again, Bhishma is not an exception. Correct? So otherwise he will be born again. So this statement, which reflects the vision among all our Sanatana Dharmis, is expressed here in verse number 27. And so we saw how that this time that we are alive, this human life, whether it is 50 years or 70 years or 90 or 100 years, how that time, the best way to think about that time is how should I best spend my time and what I can do and how I can keep to dharma. These can be the main thoughts here. But otherwise, in the scheme of things, it's very small. And so we have to be careful not to think that somehow we are the center of the world, and somehow everything will break loose if something happens to us. Nothing will break loose, and life will go on with or without us. It's a good thing to think about. Keeps us sane, keeps us happy. So this is what we saw last time. So that life is a flicker, as it were. And so Krishna is saying, when change is constant, when birth and death are constant, natvam shochitum arhasi. You don't have to. You really should not be grieving so much about these things. He didn't say grieve so much. You should not grieve, he says. So it is not so much means then it becomes like we pacify other people. No, it's okay. Things will get better. That's not the argument Krishna is making. And so therefore this thinking reflects the popular prayer that, hey Bhagavan, let me accept what I cannot change. We will do that in one of the meditations. We will do that. Let me accept what I cannot change, and give me the strength to act, to change the things that can be changed and must be changed. So that vision comes out here, and which Krishna will emphasize in the next shloka also, number 28 also he will emphasize. So going back to the shloka, for that which is born, jatasya, death is certain, mrityuhu dhruvaha asti, and for that which is dead, mritasya cha, birth is certain, janma dhruvam asti. Therefore, tasmat tvam sochitum na arhasi. You ought not to grieve over that which cannot be altered. Apariharye arthe. So I think this also we saw last time. So let us go to the next shloka. Priya. Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani Bharata avyaktanidhanani eva tatraka paridevana avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani Bharata avyaktanidhananyeva tatraka paridevana. Yeah, can remain unmuted. So Krishna is continuing that line of thinking about this birth and death, which is always going to be there. Why would you be sorrowful over that? This is what he is saying. Tatra ka paridevana. Paridevana also means shoka. Same synonym. Sorrow, grief. Tatra ka paridevana. Where is the question of grief in this situation? Like that he is asking a question. Not expecting an answer, but saying, where is the question? So we see a lot of things. There is perception. There is a whole world we look at. But we don't know about this life, we don't know much at all. We can't see this Atma. We can't see this Jiva. And we say a person has passed away. And we are not able to see what is passing away. Person has passed away. And is there a Jiva that is moving out of this body? We're not able to see it. If we were to see it, you can imagine what we will do. It's anybody's guess. We will grab all of us, come on, hold this Jivatma. And if we like the person, hold the Jiva, push the fellow inside. Don't go, not now. We are not ready for you to go yet. Push inside. And we will all push this Jivatma inside the body and live for a few more years. You can't leave now. This is how we will behave. And we will have more people also. If we know that this person is going to pass away, we will hire more people, come, and then let's make sure this Jivatma doesn't go out of this house. This is what we will do. So we will just coax them to come back. Sorry, I did not treat you properly. Please don't be upset with me. I don't know what all we might say to this Jivatma. And I'm sorry, I don't, I understand your frustration. Suddenly all the good words will come out of our mouth. So, and then we push him back, and then after a few days we will start quarreling with them. This will become the life. So thankfully we are not able to see who goes, who comes. All these things we are not able to see. That is good. I think there is a nice niyati, nice law. Let it be like that. So Krishna was saying, all this is like an arrow that comes out of nowhere. It appears and then it briefly goes and then it disappears. Like this, in the scheme of things, in this axis of time, things happen, and things are happening fast. Like this firefly glowworm just glows and then suddenly it goes away. And you are trying to look for it, it's not there. And have you tried this? I've tried this once. Once or twice I've seen it. I've tried to look for the fly in the dark night, outside. And it's not there, you can't see it. Maybe what happens is when it glows and then it kind of blinds your eye or something. And then it turns off and then you are not able to see it anymore. And then suddenly it's somewhere there. So this is how the life is. And so he's saying, if there is something which has a problem, and if the problem is real, the something is satyam, problem is satyam, then we can worry about it. We can lament, we can do all that. It says, this is not the way it is. And things which will go away, will go away. Things which will remain, will continue to remain. And so and that thing is nothing but Atma. And so you have to focus on Atma. Atma is that which remains. And letting go of Atma and worrying about other things and people is not legitimate. This is what he's saying. So that idea of ignorance, I have focused on so many things, ignoring my own self, and not just my emotional self, that also I may have ignored. And beyond that emotional self, the Atma that sustains everything is something I've ignored. And I can't be blamed because everybody seems to confirm that. Parents confirm this. And the world is big. I am a victim. I have to protect myself. I have to defend myself. I have to earn a living. And you be careful about this. You be careful about that. This is what we are told all the time. Therefore, it's natural for me to fall in line and fall in that beaten track. And so, and the bugs are also there. And now, corona and this and that, a small little bug is enough to shake the entire world. So therefore, that sense that I am insecure, It's constantly, that is what I see in this world, and therefore I can't be blamed for my vision. And later on, next verse, Krishna continues with this thinking, why this Atma is difficult to understand. Like that, he is going to say in the next verse. And so let's look at this next shloka. So, translating this Avyakta Dini Bhutani, interesting, very interesting. So, here he says, Bhutani, Bhutani means living beings, referring to living beings. The word Bhuta can refer to the entire world also, because Panchabhuta is the entire world. In this case, he is referring to living beings. Why? Look at this. Avyaktadini Bhutani. Bhutani means all the elements which are the living beings. Avyakt Adini. Adi. There is a word Adi there. So that Adi means beginning. These living beings were unmanifest in the beginning. In the beginning, they were unmanifest. Avyaktadini Bhutani. Then what? Hey Bharata, Vyakta Madhyani. Tani Bhutani Vyakta Madhyani Abhavan or Bhavishyanti. These living beings, before they were not there, we don't know where they were. Therefore, they are unmanifest, not available. Then they become manifest. They become manifest. They are available for us. Our body is manifest. Whole world is manifest. Then what? Avyakta Nidhanani eva. Nidhana means death. Mrityave, Mrityu. Mrityu. So when death happens, then they are avyakta again. They are gone. You can't see them. They are unmanifest. Definitely not perceptible after death. You can't see. The body is also gone. And what was inside the body, the Jivatma also gone. So vyakta madhyani eva. Avyakta nidhanani eva. So at the end, death becomes unmanifest. And then beginning also, avyakta adi. Adi is beginning. Beginning also unmanifest. In between, vyakta, manifest. Madhyani Bharata. This is how everything is going to be. Tatraka paridevana. Where is the question of sorrow? With reference to this fact. Where is the question of sorrow? This is what he said here. Now, look at the interesting shloka, an important shloka. Okay. Yeah. Rukmani ji. Ascharyavat
आश्चर्यवत्
pashyati
पश्यति
kaschidenam
कश्चिदेनम्
ascharyavat
आश्चर्यवत्
vadati
वदति
tathaiva chanyah
तथैव चान्यः
ascharyavat
आश्चर्यवत्
chainamanyah
चैनमन्यः
shrunoti
शृणोति
श्रुत्वाप्येनं
श्रुत्वाप्येनं
वेदन चैव
वेदन चैव
कश्चित्.
कश्चित्.
So the chanda has changed here. Now we have come to Trishtup Chandaha. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam.
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम्
Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah.
आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः
Ascharyavat chainamanyah shrunoti.
आश्चर्यवश्चैनमन्यः शृणोति
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्.
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्.
Yeah. So Shankaracharya introduces the shloka by saying Prakrita Atma Durvigneya. Some of you said you liked the fact that I mentioned Shankara Bhashyam, etc. And so I thought I will read this one sentence. Don't worry, I will not convert this into a Sanskrit class. So I thought I will read it. Once in a while, it's good to hear these things. If you know Sanskrit, you can enjoy it. If you don't know that much Sanskrit also, you can enjoy it. Okay? So just one line, couple of lines. The introductory line I will read. He says, Durvigneyaha ayam prakritaha atma. Okay? Means what? Ayam prakritaha atma. Ayam means this. This atma. What kind of atma? Prakritaha atma. Prakritaha in Sanskrit means this atma under discussion. This atma we've been talking about. Ayam prakritaha atma durvigneyaha. Difficult to understand. Difficult to understand. Then comma. Kim tvameva ekam upalabhe sadharane bhranti nimitte. Sadharane bhranti nimitte. When this bhranti means what? Bhranti is not brandy and all. Bhranti means, bhranti is delusion, confusion. Yeah, maybe that's how this word brandy has come. I need to research this stuff. Very interesting coincidence. Bhranti nimitte. So when this is a cause for confusion for everybody, it is sadharanam. It's common. It's common. This kind of confusion about Atma is common. That being so, Kim tvameva ekam upalabhe. How can I blame you alone? You are not to blame for saying I don't know. It's all going on top of my head. If you say, okay, I mean, it's all right. You don't have to feel bad about that, Katam durvigneyaha ayam atma iti aha. Aha means said. Krishna said, how this atma is durvigneyaha, difficult to understand, is Krishna said. This is how he introduces the shloka. So it feels good, no? It feels, oh, I'm not alone. This I am not alone is such an important thing for us, for all human beings, to feel good. I am not alone. Everybody also is in the same boat. Very important. Sometimes that sorrow just disappears when we see, oh, everybody has the same problem. Oh, power cut. What about neighbor? Do you also have a power cut? Yes, the power went off this morning at 6 o'clock. Okay. So it has nothing to do with my house. It has nothing to do with the meter in my house, the switches in my house. There has nothing to do with that. It's a good relief. Oh, when will power come? That is the next question. See, question changes suddenly. Question was, oh, there's no power. Oh, what happened? What happened? Something happened in my house. Now, next question is, when will power come? Oh, that's a different problem. So this is group therapy. So Arjuna must have felt good here. We all discuss, we meet for lunch and people meet, men meet along with men and women meet along with women. They all discuss, my husband is like this, my wife is like this, she doesn't listen. He's always like this. He always comes late from office, 9:30, 10. We don't get time to talk at all. And then she cries. Because newlywed and cries. And then other lady says, my husband is, every night he's getting some call from office. And some lady is calling, he's talking with this lady for half an hour. And the other lady who's crying suddenly stops crying. Because, oh, my husband is not like that. He would never do such a thing. Group therapy, this therapy is so important, my goodness. You should not underestimate all these conversations. Very important conversations. We should let them be as they are. So some Krishna is making Arjuna feel a little good. If he didn't follow, don't worry. And Arjuna doesn't know how many more chapters are there. Krishna, maybe he knows how many more chapters are coming. And so this is therapeutic to say. What he's saying here is Ascharyavat. So don't worry if you didn't follow everything like what I said, don't worry. Because one who knows the Atma is also a wonder. One who listens to the Atma is also a wonder. One who talks about this Atma is also a sight to behold. Okay, like that he's saying in this shloka. Okay, we will see that. So, so Astaryavat Pashyati. Pashyati. Ascharyavat. Ascharya means wonder, of course. Ascharyavat, like a wonder. That vat is a suffix in Sanskrit, which has several meanings. And one meaning is like a. If you want to say like something, you can say like that. So this fruit is like a mango. If you say amravat, etat phalam amravat asti. Amravat means like the mango. So like that here. Ascharyavat. How many times is saying Ascharyavat, Ascharyavat, Ascharyavat? Three times it is appearing in this shloka. So like a wonder, like a wonder, like a wonder. Okay. So we hear this Vyakhyanam of Atma and Brahma so much, and Atma Nityaha, Atma Vinashi, Atma Ajaha. This we hear, and if we understand it right away, that is also a big wonder. It's a big wonder because how is that possible? How did I miss all these years? That wonder will be there, and if I don't understand it, also it's a wonder. Why? How can anybody understand this? How? Swamiji, how is it possible? You're saying moksha. You have to understand all this for moksha. You know, I want moksha, and you're telling me you have to study all this. And this also question can be there in somebody's minds, some people's minds. And how am I going to understand all this? So wonder, how am I going to understand? Wonder. So ascharyavat pashyati. Any person looks at this as a wonder. And as I study, initially it seems like an impossibility. Then it becomes some kind of a possibility, vague possibility is there. Then it becomes more and more attractive, that vision. And then finally, of course, the vision becomes our own, becomes real for us, Satya. So this is how the journey is. And so there is always a wonder in this process, how anyone can go through this process. And the Shastram is saying, Brahma Arpanam Brahma Vihi Brahma Agno Brahmana. Brahma Iva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. Later on, he's going to say in the 4th chapter. We chant it often. And before our meal, we chant it. So Brahma Arpanam Brahma Havihi. The food is Brahman. The spoon with which I am taking the food is also Brahman. The eater of the food, me, is also Brahman. One who is serving is also Brahman. Everything is Brahman. This is how it's going to say. How it is possible? Amazing. Isn't it amazing? So I look at these shlokas as amazing. Ascharyavat Pashyati. And later on, Krishna will say, in the 15th chapter, I think it will come. I am the Sarvaihi Vedaischa Sarvair Ahameva Vedyaha. Vedanta Krit Vedavideva Chaham. So many of you who chant Bhagavad Gita, who know this shloka. So Sarvaihi Vedaihi Ahameva Vedyaha. I am the one to be known through all the Vedas. Okay? Then what? Veda ishta sarvairahameva vedyaha. Vedanta krit. Vedanta krit. And then what? I am the author of the Vedas also. Vedanta krit. And then what? Veda with. I am Veda with also. Veda with means I am the knower of the Vedas also. I am the author of the Vedas. I am the one to be known by the Vedas. And I am the knower of the Vedas. What is all this? Like this keeps on going. And so it is definitely a wonder. How is it possible? So therefore, every person looks at this Atma as a wonder. Ascharyavat pashyati. Pashyati. And then next is what? Vadati. Ascharyavat vadati. Vadati means speaks. Speaks. One speaks of it as a wonder. So when we see it as a wonder, if we muster the courage to speak about it, then it's going to be something of wonder only. Our expression is going to be something of wonder. And this vision of Atma, and we can say so many things. And the teacher says, Atma is the creation. Atma created the world. Atma created the world. But at the same time, Atma is Akarta also. How is it possible? How can you create the world? And then you say, I didn't create the world. This sounds crazy. This is got to be either some nonsense, or it has to create wonder in us. How is this possible? Correct? It is not born and it won't die. Not born. How can there be something that is not born? Is it possible to even fathom something like this? Yes, it has to be fathomed. It can be fathomed. Therefore, it's definitely a wonder. By speaking like this, we express our wonder by talking about Atma. And then what? And then he says, Ascharyavat cha enam anyah shrunoti. Shrunoti. Shrunoti means hears. Hears. One hears this as a wonder. So one sees it as a wonder. So after hearing it, sees it as a wonder. Talks about it as a wonder. And then finally, and then hears it as a wonder. And then he is saying that because Shrutvapi yenam veda na chaiva kaschit. Shrutvapi. Shrutvapi means what? Having heard it. And having heard it, what? It's very wonderful to hear. Having heard it, Vedana chaiva kaschit. Did not understand, even after having heard it. That also can be a problem. So it's like a subtle joke that is said and then not understood. So often the beauty of jokes is that, right? The beauty of a joke is to catch something that we normally don't see. That's why it becomes a joke. And to understand a joke is such an important thing. We don't realize it, right? Otherwise, we can't smile, we can't laugh, we can't understand jokes. Everything is taken seriously. Somebody said a good joke. Oh, you will joke because you don't have any problems. You don't know what will life be if you look at my life. So like this, we might say, but joke. So like that subtle joke, this also is not understood by many people. And so we've seen that life, it's a joke when we say we're talking about mithya. You analyze a thought itself, if you analyze, that thought will disappear. You can't really put your finger on a thought. It is just as though coming and going. We analyzed our audio some time ago in the example. How this language, this speech, this vacham, this bhāchyam is also something, if you start analyzing, there is really no such thing. Really, there is no such thing that you can categorically point to and say there is language, there is prose, there is poetry, there is this, that. All that will reduce to sounds, all that will reduce further. It has to reduce to Atma. We saw that. So with such an analysis that our rishis have given us, we can only marvel at this. All the way it's a marvel. From the beginning to the end, it's a marvel. And so that original joke, if it's not understood, then everything, nothing else in between also is understood. Everything else is taken seriously. And then, so like this person, I may have said this is Swamiji cracked this joke. So like this person is listening to Ramayana. Some big man has come to our city and he's giving a vyakhyanam of Ramayana. And who doesn't like to listen to Ramayana? It's just something about it just pulls us towards Ramayana. So he listens day after day after day. Entire month he listened. And Ramayana was over. And this Acharya-ji watched him. He was there right in the front seat. And then finally that person goes towards the Acharya and says, "Thank you very much. I enjoyed it very much." And you're all able to hear me, no? Yeah. So I enjoyed it very much. And so Acharya also was very happy because this person definitely didn't miss even a single class, single lecture, single evening he didn't miss. And so I have only one question. One doubt. Acharya-ji, just one doubt. What is the doubt? Ask me, please. I'm here to answer your doubts only, like that. And so, so he's saying, I have only one doubt. The doubt is, Ramayana is such a beautiful story. I don't know whether Rama is Rakshasa or Ravana is Rakshasa. That is the only doubt I have. Rama is Rakshasa, Ravana is Rakshasa. Now tell me what will be your response if you tell this story to all your children, you're conducting Jaykumarji, I'm conducting a heritage class and all small kids are all there. We are now teaching Ramayana. And so you all take turns and teach Ramayana. And the kids are all listening with attention and some kid comes and tells you this. What will you feel? And it's like a slap on the face, So the Acharya-ji was smart. You know what he said? He said he was furious, smart, but he was very furious. And he couldn't handle this. He said, you know what? Rama is not Rakshasa. Ravana is not Rakshasa. I am Rakshasa. I am the one who is Rakshasa. So that is, you can imagine the poor Acharya. Somebody comes and asks him this question. So this story is actually relevant because in Kenopanishad, in the last towards the end, the teacher is asking the student, the Kenopanishad starts with the student answering a question. So Kena is a question, by what? Kene Shitam iti, it starts. So by what am I? By what is my mind functioning? By what am I able to see all these things, etc.? He asks a very good question. And that's how the Upanishad starts. And then teaching goes on. The Upanishad doesn't mention any names of students and all that, unlike in Taittiriya or Chandogya, etc. Towards the end, the teaching is over. And then one student asks, Upanishadam bho bruhi. Please teach me Upanishad. This is what a student is. It's there in the Upanishad. Upanishadam bho bruhi. What happens to this teacher? And this teacher was so compassionate. He didn't get angry and all that. And he, you know what he says? Those words are there in the Upanishad. Upanishadam abruma. Upanishad was taught. Upanishad was taught. He didn't express shock or anything like that, like the other Acharya. And Upanishad was taught. So politely he said that. And that's how the Upanishad ends after a few more mantras. So this also is possible. This also is possible. After hearing it also, it appears as though I did not understand. These things are normal in any subject for that matter. Why Vedanta? Any subject. But so here, this is possible. Therefore, one looks upon this Atma, this Atma Vidya as a wonder. And so this Atma joke is a big joke. And therefore, there is no question of keeping this Vidya a secret. It is a secret. A secret means what? You have to protect it. Protecting something from other people is called a secret. What is a secret? You have to guard it. You have to guard it. Like all your jewelry, you have to guard it. That's called a secret. This thing, how can it be a secret? Can this ever be a secret? It is always a secret. Because even it's out in the open, but still, it's a wonder. It's not available. People don't catch it. And so it's because, our orientation is paranchikani. Paranchikani. Our orientation is like that. Our senses, our instruments are all focused towards understanding things in this world. It's not like we are stupid and all that. We are all gifted with the buddhi, no doubt. Every human being is gifted. So, but the orientation is different. Orientation is different. So, perceiving things, the object must be there, something that you can explain to me. It has to be finite. A finite object I can understand. But this Atma is Sarvam, Atma is Purnaha and all, if you say, then it becomes a little harder to grasp. So that is the issue here. And so, having said all this, what is required to study this Vidya? What kind of qualifications you need? Do you have to be an engineer? Do you have to have some advanced degrees, perhaps? What do you need for all this? And fortunately, if you say advanced degrees, then there are certain people who will not benefit from this. If you say specific language, then again there are certain people who do not know that language. Sanskritam, you must know Sanskritam to study Vedas. Yeah, if you say, I am going to study Sanskritam and I am going to read it all by myself, yeah, you must know the language. But Shastram doesn't say you open the book and start reading. Shastram never says that. Because this can't be read. It has to be heard. Shravanam is the primary thing. Primary means Shravanam. So, and then what other raw material do you need for this? Just having lived all these years, your own experiences, your own rationale, your own the logic that you have developed over the years, your own commitment to dharma. That is all that is needed. Nothing else is needed. No degree in anything is needed. Degree is useful because all that degree, what it does is, it makes your thinking. It solidifies your thinking. It strengthens your thinking. And you realize how important this is when you talk to people, who come to work, your maids and all, you talk and you try to explain to them something. Then you realize, oh my God, they're not able to understand something so basic. How will you explain what a germ is to somebody who has not gone to school? What a virus, forget virus. Difference between virus and a bacteria, these things are impossible to understand unless one goes to school and gets exposed to some science. And so, but still, even that education is not needed for learning the Shastra. If you don't know what a bacteria is, it doesn't matter. If you don't know what a virus is, it doesn't matter. And so that viveka, vairagya, etc., that emotional maturity is all that is needed. And therefore, but yet all of us have that experience, and still if I say I don't follow, then what happens? Then it's looked upon as a wonder, ascharyavat. And with all these odds, you see a person who talks about Atma, and a person who knows this Atma. Who knows the Atma means, how do you know a person understood Brahma Vidya? Really nobody can know. Only this through the society you come to know, oh, this person is a jnani, is a sannyasi jnani. Like that we come to know. So knowing, how did a person know this? That is also an ascharya. So Shankara brings that. That what has another meaning. What has another meaning? What meaning it has? One who has something is called something vat. Okay. Like what? Balavan. That van is actually vat. Okay. Vat is the base form, and then the vat becomes van. Vat becomes vati, feminine gender. Correct? Masculine, feminine. Balavan, balavati. But the root of both words is balavat. Balavat. So one who has bala is balavat. One who has guna is gunavat. And one who has bhaga is bhagavat, which becomes Bhagavan and Bhagavati. Correct? So here Shankara says, if you look at the word ascharyavat, and to be a person who knows Atma, Atmavit, one who knows the Atma is also looked upon as a wonder. Like that, Shankara brings a point. And among millions of people, one person gets this interest to ask the question, what is Atma? Who am I? And among them, many people, then there are people who understand that Atma, I, first person singular. Why is it a wonder? Again, same thing. Everybody is going on the beaten track. Beaten track. What is a beaten track? Artha Kama track. And some differences are there. You know, this person is doing a business, this person is working, and like this, differences are there. This person is an engineer, this person is a doctor, that person has taken a different profession. All these are, we make very big things out of this, but really these are just minute differences. Minute differences. Because everybody is in the same track. Artha, Kama, Dharma. Same track. So all these things are differences, and the differences are so minute. Everybody is having that same ignorance, and therefore the track is the same with some differences which we pursue based on our own interest. Of course, the differences are there, but we can't take these differences too seriously because it's a beaten track. And it's a wonder because that beaten track is there, and somebody decides to question the beaten track. Somebody says, wait a minute, what is this all there is to life? If you ask the question, then what? The person is going against the shall we say, against the tide. Against the tide, I think they say, right? Going against the flow, against the tide. Going against. Doesn't see it, going against the norm. And so asking the question, turning and stopping, you've got to stop, because this is not easy. And you say I'm studying Bhagavad Gita, and they will ask you, why are you studying Bhagavad Gita? What is your problem? What a sad thing to hear. What a sad thing to hear. My goodness. The Europeans are teaching Bhagavad Gita to their children in the 3rd grade. And here people are asking, why are you studying Bhagavad Gita? Oh my God. What have we done to ourselves? And they will think you're insane. You've got a life ahead of you, my son. What is this? And the neighbor will come. Yeah, I'm not happy. Relatives will all gang up. I'm not happy with your son at all. He is doing all this funny Bhagavad Gita classes and all that. What have you? Is this the way you have to bring up your son? They blame. Parents are blamed for all these problems. And then the parents will start pushing that blame on the child, poor boy or girl. And so that fellow, poor thing, wants to hear a few good words. He's tired of all this haranguing at home. And so that's why it's a wonder. It's a wonder. It's not unique. It must be there all over the world. That's why sometimes to live alone is a great thing. And great thing if you have some interests which are very unique. Whether it can be a hobby also. Some hobby you have. Even some photography or something, you have a hobby. You have to live alone because otherwise these people will just spoil your life. And so you just go alone and say, I'm working, I got a job in Bangalore. If Bangalore is crowded, go somewhere else and get a job and then pursue your passion. That's beautiful. So, therefore, going against the flow, against the tide is a big thing. That is why if you go to Ganga, Ganga is sacred. It starts from Gangotri and then it flows down through Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, etc. It goes all the way down, goes to West Bengal, etc. And there, when the river, it is natural for the river to flow down, to seek lower heights, lower and lower levels. And so it finds its level. But then there are places where the river apparently goes back. It turns, makes a U-turn. Makes a U-turn because the terrain is like that. Makes a U-turn and then another U-turn it makes and then comes back. That U-turn becomes a very sacred place. Very sacred place. Why? Because it is like the life. This person has decided to look back at the source. Look back at the source. Where did I come from? Who am I? How did this all come about? So if you look at Varanasi and all, you will see. If you look at the map, this slight curve will be there. And those places become sacred places. Beautiful. This culture is just drives me crazy whenever I think about it. And so, Ascharyavat Pashyati Kaschidenam. Kaschit, somebody. The word Kaschit means somebody, anybody. Yenam Atmanam Ascharyavat Pashyati. Looks at this Atma as a wonder. And what else? Ascharyavat Vadati Tathaiva Chanyaha. Likewise, Anyaha, some other person talks about it in very flowery words as a wonder. Ascharyavat cha yenam anyaha shrunoti. Anyaha, another person, yenam atmanam prati. Ascharyavat hears it as a wonder whenever he or she hears, and it seems so wonderful. And then Shrutvapienam Vedana Chaiva Kaschit. Even after having heard, there is another person who is unable to understand. This is the shloka we heard today. And this shloka is also there in Kathopanishad. And same, almost identical shloka with a few words different. Ascharyavat Pashyati Kutaschinna Babuva. There is a shloka. And so similar meaning is there in Kathopanishad also. So Krishna is referring to Kathopanishad in this shloka. Okay, we will conclude now. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।